Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Victor, and in this video I'm gonna build a WordPress plugin which is going to display the posts as PDF files. So here's the demo. I have a WordPress installation. It's all by default. I have the storefront installed, and there's a storefront child theme on my website. I'm using a child theme just because I'm gonna have to override the single.php template. And here I have two posts on my home page. So if I click on one of them, let's say for example hello world, WordPress is gonna open like a regular post page with a permalink here, user-friendly URL. There's gonna be the header, there's gonna be the footer, but wherever the post content is supposed to be, there's gonna be a frame where a PDF file is going to be displayed like this. So this generation has been I've done it using React. So my React app calls the WordPress API, pulls all this data from the database, creates a PDF file, and then displays it on the page. So that's what I'm gonna build in this video. I'm gonna write everything from scratch in case you want to follow along with me. There's also gonna be a link in the description from where you can grab the source code. I'm gonna be using a package in this video for my React.js app, which is React PDF. There's gonna be a link to this package as well, so they have all these instructions on how to install, how to use it, and different examples here. So I'm gonna use this package, and yeah, that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So here I have my VS Code already created, my React.js app. Here are the files. I open VS Code in my React.js folder. I have the terminal here open. So the first thing I want to do is I want to install this package I was talking about. So I'm using npm, so I'm just gonna copy this command from here. I'm gonna open my VS Code and I'll paste it here. I'll press enter. This is gonna install the package. And before this package, while this package is installing, let's go to I'm actually gonna clean up my public index.html file. So open public index.html. So I'm gonna remove all these comments from here. Alright, I will save this file, I'll close it. So this package has been installed. Now I'm gonna type in npm start, and this is supposed to start my local server, starting the development server. Okay, so everything seems to be fine. Now I will open a new tab. I'll type in localhost and 3000. So this is my React.js app. I also wanted to mention that I'm using XAMPP. So where is it here? This is my XAMPP. So I have Apache started, MySQL started, WordPress is installed, my localhost and everything. So here. So what I want to do now is I want to go to my source folder, app.js, and from here I'm going to get rid of the logo from here and everything I have in my div class name app. So here above the logo I'm going to import React, and I will also import the component from React. And I want to import the PDF viewer. PDF viewer from the package I just installed. So the package I just installed is at react-pdf renderer. Okay, and then I'm gonna create a new okay, we have this app CSS. Okay, it's fine. Now I'm gonna create a new folder in the source folder, and this folder is going to be components. And here in the components, I'm gonna create a new component. So I'll have to create a new file, and this file is going to be capital letters WP and then lowercase pdf.js. This is gonna be a functional component. So I'm gonna have props but I'm gonna be using React as well. So let's import React from React, and I want to import a few other components, because if I'm going back to React PDF package, here in the example they have this these components that they're being using in the file. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm going to import them. So in my example, I'm gonna use the page, text, image. Oops. I'm gonna use image, font, a document, and last one, style sheet. And I will import all this stuff from @React PDF renderer, like this. And then here I'm gonna have a const, and I will name this const, let's do it like the way they have in the demo. So it's gonna be quick sorry, or yeah, something like that. And I'm gonna get props, but actually let's just leave it empty for now, because we're not calling this component yet. And here let's just say hi, and below here let's just export it by default. Export default, like this. Okay, we have it. I'm gonna save it. I will import it here. Let me just copy the name of it. So we'll have import from components /WP PDF, and I will call this component here like this. Let's just save it. Just make sure we don't have any errors or anything like that. The compilation is kind of slow. I don't know why. Probably because my computer is kind of slow. But if I'm going back now, here everything is fine. So I have this components being called. Everything is fine. Now what I want to do is I want to transform this app component. This is going to be a class. So instead of function, I'm going to have class app. This class is going to extend. So this extends the component like this. I'm going to have here needs to be a render. Like this. Oops, just make it pretty. Okay, render function. So if I save it now, it's supposed to work without any problems. And now in this class I'm gonna have a state. So there's gonna be state, and the state structure is gonna be the following. It's gonna have we will have a post parent, and then here we'll have post title, which is going to be empty by default, post image, post text, and post author. Oh, whoa. Like this. And there's gonna be another state which is going to be is loaded. Is loaded is gonna be false by default. This is gonna be true only when after we receive the data from WordPress API. So when we receive the data from WordPress API, we will make this true, and that's when we will output or display our PDF file. So we don't display an empty PDF file. In that case, we're gonna get errors and stuff like that. Okay, so now let's go back to our to WordPress. Let's see how our API looks like. So here you have probably your domain. In my case, it's localhost, and here I have /wp-json /wp/v2, which is version 2, and then we have posts. Doi actually means 2 in Romanian, so I'm just a little confused. Okay, so here we have the posts ID. So if you don't know what's the post ID, just go to your posts, and whenever you want to edit one of the posts, you'll see your posts ID here. It's gonna be post equal to your post ID. So this is 10. Okay, let's do 10. Where's that? Look, I put 10 here, and also actually not slash, question mark, underscore embed. So we have embed like this. So I press enter, and this is gonna show us all the data from the API. We're calling the API. Now I have here an extension in Chrome which is called JSON formatter. So if I click on it, it's gonna ask me to reload the page. And I reload the page, and this is gonna it's gonna arrange everything pretty so I can understand what's going on here. So whenever we call this API, for each post using the post ID, we get all this information. We have the content, we have the author ID, we have links. Another thing that's important here to know is the author. So we have the author name. I'm gonna grab that, and there's also featured image. This is there's a featured image URL here. Here we go. So I'm gonna grab one of these links to output them in my PDF file, and that's almost it. But you have a bunch of stuff here. You have a bunch of details about the post, so you can play around with your React.js app if you would like to add more stuff on it. So what I'm gonna do now is, in my React.js app, I'm gonna use the component did mount component. Component did mount, this is a React.js predefined component, and using this component, this is like a lifecycle component which is calling the API. So I'm gonna use fetch, and here I'm gonna copy this URL from here, and I will paste it here, and below I'm gonna have dot then, and here I'm gonna grab the result. So gonna be res arrow, and I want to get the result as a JSON format, get a JSON function, and then below I'm gonna have again dot then, like this, and then here I'm gonna grab the WordPress response in parentheses. So here's gonna be WP response, and having this response, now I will be able to update the state. But pay attention here, I want to show you something. We have few tags here in the text. Whenever we add a new blog post, like each of this paragraph is been wrapped by with a p tag. So in this case, I want to remove all these p tags and all other tags that the content may have, and I want to store after that all this data in the state. Now if I'm looking at my React.js app, if I'll inspect this app, I have this React.js extension, which is adding 2 more tabs on my toolbar here whenever I'm inspecting the app. So if I click on the components, I will see my components here. The first one is app. So here I'm gonna have the state. I didn't save the file yet with the state, but whenever I will save it, I will have this on that tab. I will see it. So let's just see how this WordPress response looks like. So I'm gonna do a console log. Just want to show you how it looks like. And also here we need to have a certain, we have this. Okay, so after this one, where is that? Just got lost already. I made a boo-boo here. Let's delete this parenthesis from here, and let's close it here after the first then. Okay, and then we have the second then. So we're grabbing the result here, and then here we will have comma, and we will grab the error in case there's an error. So we'll have error, and this is going to be an ES6 function. So if we get an error, then in this case we will update the state. So we'll have this set state, and here we will have is loaded, because we have this is loaded is false. We'll make it false, just to make sure it's false, and we don't want to update, we don't want to display the file yet, because if we get an error, that means we didn't get any data from the WordPress API. And also we can store the error in the state just in case. Okay, don't forget about semicolon. We have this, and this. Okay, everything looks good. Now if I save it, everything is fine, we don't get any errors. and if I'm going back here, I click on the console, we will see here the data we get from WordPress API. So if I click here, let me make this bigger. So if I click here, I'm gonna see all the data from here. Alright, so everything works fine. I want to store this data. I want to store the title in the state, the title, the post title, post image, post text, and the post author. So this is what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna comment this out, and here I'm gonna update the state. So it's gonna be this set state, like this. So here the first one is the post title. Like here we have post title, but first I want to follow the same structure of this tree I have in the state. So I have this state, and then here I have the post, which is a parent, and then here's the post title, and the post title comes from WP response dot title dot rendered. So if I'm going back just to show you where I grabbed that from, so we have the response, and then we have the title here, the title rendered, and this is the post title. Just copy that, just make sure I didn't misspell it here. Okay, all right, and then the next one is the post image. And you can also check if you want to see how this looks like, how the structure is, but I already have it here. So it's WP response dot underscore embedded, and then here we have WP featured media, like this. And here we have 0 because this is an array and we're grabbing the first key. And here is the source URL, underscore URL, like this. The next one is the post text. Post text is coming from content, and I said that I wanna, okay, let's just do it first like this. So WP response dot content dot rendered, like this. And then the last one is the post author, and the post author comes from WordPress response dot underscore embedded. This needs to be double D here, embedded, like this. So I'm gonna copy and paste it here like this, embedded dot author, and the key, this is an array, so the key is 0, and we're grabbing the name from here. Okay, so okay, we've got this. And also after we've done this, we updated the state. Now we want to update the is loaded to true. We want to make it true, so I will save it. I'm gonna go back to my app. I'll just refresh just to get everything fresh. So if I click on the components, I click on my app component, I'm gonna see the state here, is loaded and post. So if I open the post state, I have the post author, the post image, because I have a featured image for my post. This is the image. And I have the post content, but I have this p tag and blah blah blah, so I want to filter all this stuff. In order for me to filter that, I should go, so I'm gonna go right below here, and let me actually leave a comment. I will say filter post text, and here I'm gonna have a const post content, and I will assign the data from the content like this, and then I'll have dot, and I will use the replace function, JavaScript function. So I'm just gonna copy it from here, from my script, just to paste it here because there are a lot of characters here. So I have replace. So this is gonna replace all the tags, you know, that start with open like this and close like this. B tag, P tag, div tag, age tag and all that stuff. So I'll replace it with empty character, you know, with nothing. And then I'm gonna call again the replace, and I'm gonna replace this with apostrophe, because the apostrophe code is it's like this. So in the PDF file they just output it, the app outputs this code, and instead of this code I want to output the apostrophe. So you may see some other code. So this is the way you filter it out. So semicolon here, and then I'm gonna copy this stuff to this variable, and I will paste it here. So if I save it now, and I'm going back to my app, let me just refresh one more time. I have the app, and here if I open my post state, I have the p tag disappeared. Now this backward slash and n, this is good because this is like this is a good tag. PDF recognizes it, so it's fine. We'll be using that. Okay, so now we have the state. Now what we should do is we should output the data in the PDF file on the page. So let's go back to our app.js file, and we have this, we call this component here. Now in our render function I'm gonna have const, and here I'm gonna put all the state I have from my post state. So I have post title, and then post image, and then post text, and then post author, and I grab all this from this state.post. So I'm doing this just I'm doing this so after this line I don't have to use all the time this state post whenever I want to try whenever I want to call on these states. So here I'm gonna send some props to this component I just I created here. So you know what, guys, let's just change it here, the name of this one. I don't really like it. I know it in documentations like this, but I'm gonna change it to WP PDF. Copy it, paste it here where you fold it, save it, and let's go back here, paste it like this, and here like this. Sorry about that. Okay, so now here we will send a prop, some props. I'll copy this here like this, and I will send it like this, which means I'm sending the state. And I'm gonna have for 3 more post image, post text, and the post author. Okay, I send that, I save it, and I'm going back to PDF. Let's make sure everything works fine. We still have this, everything is fine. We refresh the page, everything works. Now here I'm gonna grab the props, and I'm going to console log them. And I'm gonna have an error for some reason. Oh, that's because console log here, I did a boo-boo. Still did a boo-boo. Console log. Like this. Okay, let's go back. I'm gonna refresh it, and nothing was returned from render. This usually means the return statement is missing order. Okay, blah 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 blah. Let me just do here return. Let me just add an empty wrapper. That's usually easier to do. So I'm gonna have an empty wrapper here, and then I'll put this in curly brackets. Now we'll save it. So if I go back here, refresh it, and if I click on the console, these are the props I'm getting from the main class component, from app component. So I have post author, post image, and the content, and the post title. So everything works fine till now. Now here I'm going to display the PDF file. So I have this, I import all this stuff. Now the first tag is going to be a document, like this. In the document I'm gonna have the page. So the page is going to be like this. I was actually gonna say it below here, let me see, let me think a little bit. Yeah, let's add some styling here first. So we'll add some classes, some style. We'll have a const first, styles, and here we'll use the style sheet which we import from here. It's also part of this package. They have a way on how to kind of assign inline styling. So we'll have styles, and we'll assign the style sheet dot create like this. And here we'll have a body, kind of like a class, yeah, div class, you know, almost the same structure. And then we have padding top, 35. You know what, guys, just for the sake of time, I'm just gonna copy them and paste. You can just pause the video and copy them if you are following along with me. Okay, so I have this. Now we get the comma, and I'll actually copy the whole thing. Okay, so where I have here, I will do like this. Now I'm gonna go through each of them. So I have a const. First of all, we register a font. So we have font dot register. This is right below the functional component. So we have font dot register. You know, we have parenthesis, curly brackets. We open this up, and here we have the family, which is this Oswald name, the font name. The source is this URL from here. Alright, and then below we have another const, which is styles, and we have style sheet. We assign the style sheet, we create a new style sheet here. And we have the body, which has padding top 35, padding bottom 65, padding horizontal 35. We have the title. This is all from the documentation, by the way, so I didn't customize it much. We have the font size 24, you know, text align center, font family, the author styling, the text styling, the image styling, which is margin, and we have the page number styling, because we'll have the page number too. Okay, so if you're done with this, just pause it, copy it, and after you're done, we're gonna go up here where we stopped, and where we have our page, we're going to call this style sheet. So we have page, and then we have style, an inline style. So here we use styles dot body. This is the body from here. Okay, and then here in the page component we will have the text, and the text, this is the first line, which is the title line. So we have we have text like this, and let's put this in a line, and the text has style too, and here we have styles dot title. Okay, and here we grab the title, so we have the props dot post title, and the second line is the author. So we have text style, here we have author, and we get the props post author. And then the third line is the image, so we have image, and we close the image like this, but this image is gonna get a few attributes. The first one is the style, of course, it's an inline style, so we have styles dot image, and then we have the source. So the source is going to be props dot post image. Okay, this is good. Now the next one is the post content, like the whole text. So this is like a predefined framework. If you'll have more images in your post, it probably won't display it properly. You can just you'll have to change the structure, you know, filter just to see if it catches any img tags. You know, you want to add them in the file as well. But in this case, I'm just grabbing the featured image of the post, and I display it in the PDF file. Okay, so here is this. Now there's gonna be another text component, and there's gonna be an inline style. So I have style, there's styles dot text like this, and here in this component I'm gonna display the props.postText. Okay, close the text here. Now we have last one is the page number, so we will have another text component. There's gonna be an inline style for this, so we have style curly brackets styles dot page number, and then we have to use we'll use a render here, which is gonna count the page number. So we have render and curly brackets, parenthesis, and again curly brackets, and here we have page number, comma, and then total pages. Okay, and then we have this ES6 like a function, and then here we have this is the apostrophe, but it's the backwards apostrophe. So it's the button, if you're on Windows, it's the button below the escape button in the left corner top. So here we'll have $, curly brackets, and we'll have page number, and we'll have slash and $. Well, make sure all this stuff is under this brackets like this. So we have $, total pages, like this, and then we've got this here. So this here is not a curly bracket, this is supposed to be a parenthesis. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so we have the parenthesis here and the parenthesis here. We just open it here and close it here like this, and then after that we will have a new, it's gonna be an attribute which is gonna be fixed, and we just close the component and remove this closing text from here. Fixed. Okay, text here, and remove this sign from here. Okay, this seems to be fine. Now let's go ahead and, okay, we exported it already, so if I save it, document is not defined, and because I misspelled it, it needs to be document. Sorry about that, guys, you probably already saw it. Okay, document. So when we go back here, if I refresh the page, we're getting some errors here too. Text tag, invalid value for props, render. This is fine, this is good, this is the way it is right now, just because we don't have the view, we're not wrapping up the PDF file in our app.js component. So let's go back here where we have this class name app, and right here we will have to call the PDF viewer. Alright, so I'm gonna copy this component here, and let's wrap this WordPress PDF component with this PDF viewer. So there's gonna be PDF viewer. I will cut it from here and paste it here, and I will do like this. So if I save it now and I go back here, we will see the PDF file here like this. Now look here, if you pay attention, there is an error which is saying access to XML HTTP request at this image from origin localhost has been blocked by course policy, no access control, blah blah. This is because basically WordPress doesn't allow anybody. So if I refresh the page, okay, those errors need to be disappear. So image should receive a either a source or a source prop. So this is because WordPress doesn't allow, it kind of allows, but like the PDF file wants to save this file in like a local file, you know, because it's a PDF. If you save it, you can't really save it with this URL from here. So, and also WordPress is complaining about it because it's saying you can't really do this kind of request to the WordPress website without from a different server. And to fix this error, we should open our root folder, WordPress root folder, and there's this htaccess file. So we should allow this kind of requests to the WordPress, to our WordPress website. Now I'm gonna grab this file from here and I will throw it right in here. Okay, so this is what I have by default from WordPress. Now right above I'm gonna paste this code, which is I have a comment: add access control allow origin for images. So we have if module mode set in div.c. Let me just do like this, guys, so I don't confuse you all the way. So you can just copy. So basically this allows files that match this extension to have is course, like to allow this access control allow origin. Alright, so I'm gonna save it. And even though sometimes you save it, if you go back and if you refresh the page, you will still see this error. That's because you need to clear your cache. So what I'm gonna do, I'll press on Google Chrome is Ctrl Shift delete, and I'll remove the cache from the last 24 hours. I'll just clear the data. I will close it. So if I refresh it now here, I'm gonna get has glob colon. What's this error? So I'm gonna get an error still skipping because source prop is okay, but the image is working for now. So let's make sure there's something wrong with the source. So let me go back. We can close this because this is good. It's good for now. So let's go back to our component and let's see what we've missed here. Source props post image. Okay, so I just paused it. I forgot. This is embarrassing. So okay, this is why we get this error, because first time, like whenever we load the app, our React.js app is calling the API from WordPress, but it's re-rendering the render function. So the first time whenever it renders with an empty source. That's why it's showing this error. So this is in this case we should use this is loaded state. So we will put this is loaded state here, this PDF viewer. So we will display the PDF file only after we received the data and we updated the state. So here we'll have curly brackets and we'll have this the state dot is loaded. So if this is true, let's wrap this in parentheses. If this is true, we output this. All right. Otherwise, we will output PDF loading like this. All right, so I save it now and I go back and I refresh the page. We don't get the errors anymore, but you see here for half of the second we have that PDF is loading. Look, if I refresh it, we had that PDF is loading for half of the second. Okay, so we got rid of that error. Now what's next is let's add some styling to this PDF frame, to this PDF viewer. And in order for us to style that, we have this app CSS file imported. So let's go to app CSS file, and I'm actually gonna get rid of everything except the app class. And then here I'm going to add some styling, and let me just get rid of this thing from here as well. So here's what I'm gonna add as a CSS width. I'm gonna give it a width to this app. It's gonna be the wrapper of the PDF file. So there's gonna be height, overflow, hidden, display table, margin, and I'm gonna add a box shadow. Now below here, if we inspect this block right now, so if I click on inspect, actually go to elements, let's make this a little bigger. I open the root ID app, and then this is iframe. It's an iframe that's displaying the PDF file. So I am going to paste some styling style for this iframe. So we have app, the iframe from our app class. We have padding 0, margin 0, width 100%, important, make it important, height 480 pixels because we have it 480 pixels here, and we have also the Webkit Transform. This is the scale, this is the zoom in, zoom out, this is how far away, you can play around with this one if you would like to. Webkit Transform region 0, and basically this is for what's called the browser from the Mac, Safari. Yeah, this is for Safari, and this is for other browsers, normal browsers. We have border, none, overflow hidden, overflow Y hidden, iframe, Webkit scroll bar. This we can get rid of this one. So if I save it and go back here, this is what we see. Alright, if I refresh it one more time, this is how it looks like. This is the way I want it to look like. Let me see if I remove actually the overflow. The overflow shouldn't be working here. Refresh one more time. Yep, so everything works fine. Okay, so we have the post title, which is post. We have the user, the author, which is admin in our case, the future image, and then this is the content. So even though like on the dashboard here we have these paragraphs, we have 1, 2, 3 paragraphs, even we remove the p tag, it's still showing as paragraph. Where's the app? 1, 2, 3 paragraphs we have here. Alright, so it's working. That's because we have those n spaces from here, like you see, like this one and then like this one. So this is the space in between the paragraphs, which is really good. I like the way WordPress outputs all this data. And yeah, so what's left now is integrating this app with our WordPress. So we should create a plugin in WordPress to you know, to output this all this stuff. So here I'm gonna stop this my local machine, and I'm gonna type npm run build. This is gonna create me a production, you know, it's gonna compress everything, all my React app, into compressed JavaScript files readable for the browser, so I can take these files, upload them to my server, and then integrate them with WordPress. So this is gonna take a while. I'm just gonna pause the video. Okay, so it's done now. Here, let me close this. I have a new folder here, which is build, and I have index.html file and all the files here static. So basically I'll grab this static folder and I will paste it into my plugin. But before I do that, let me just create the plugin. Oops, let me close this. Okay, so I'm gonna navigate to my oh Jesus Christ. Oops, sorry about that sound, guys. Okay, so let's see, where am I here? CD. Okay, MNT C XAMPP LS CD HT docs, and here I have WordPress content, WP content, and then here I'm going to plugins, and the plugins folder is empty, so I'm gonna create a new folder here. I will name it WP PDF. Okay, and I'll open it, and here I'm gonna open a new VS Code in this folder like this, and I'm gonna create a new file here. So this file is going to be, don't even know how to call it. Index.html is fine, PHP. So index.php, and I'm gonna paste a comment here just for this is a standard comment for WordPress. And this way WordPress recognizes this file as a new plugin, and I have plugin name and description, plugin URI, author, and the version. And I want to add a security function here, which is not allowing anybody to access this file directly from their browser. And what I'm gonna do here, basically, if I save it now, and if I'm going to my WordPress dashboard, I'm gonna go to plugins. I have this plugin here, so I click activate. It's gonna activate my plugin. Nothing is gonna change yet because I don't have any functionalities yet, but what I want to do here is I want to generate a short code and to paste it on my websites, on my post template. So let's do display React.js app. So here I'm gonna add shortcode, and here I'm gonna have the WD post PDF. That's the code. So we have WDP post PDF, and here's the function I want to call whenever you know, I will publish this code. So the function is going to be vycode underscore react underscore app. Okay, and then here is the function. So the function is called vycode like this. I'm not gonna have any parameters, and here I'm gonna grab just the global variable, post global variable. Once we grab the post ID from here, and I'm going to have a return. And what I'm gonna do here, I'm going to actually, here's where I'm gonna paste my React.js app div ID root and some of the files that I want to import. So let me go back to my file. So this is my app. Okay, let me see, just make sure this is the right folder. So it's WordPress to PDF. Okay, so this is the one, WordPress to PDF. I'm going to build. Okay, I will open my index HTML file. Here's how it looks like, and I will copy everything from here. I will open my browser and I will put here unminify.com website. I'm going here and I will paste my code here. I'll click on unminify. This is gonna unminify all the code. Now this is just from index HTML file. This is not the React.js app. So I'll copy the code from here, going back to my index HTML from where I copied, and I will paste it here. Now the stuff I want to grab from here is this, the script, this JavaScript from here, and I'll get all the way to the no script tag. I'm gonna copy it. I'm gonna go back to my index.php file, and I will paste it here in my return function. Now I don't have this static folder yet on my server, but I will in a second. I will copy it in a second. If I'm going back to my index.html file, there's another file which is the CSS file. This is also the library, it's compressed, so I'm gonna copy it from here. I'm gonna go back to my index.php file and I will paste it right below the return function here. I will paste it like this. Now I'm gonna go back to my build folder and I will copy the static folder from here. Copy. I'm going to my WordPress plugin folder, so I'm going to htdocs, which is the root folder of my server, WordPress content, plugins, WordPress PDF folder, and I will paste it in here. Okay, this is where my index.php is. Okay, so I want to call these files now. In order for me to call them, I should use a PHP function. So to do PHP function, I should put the apostrophes, just open and close apostrophes, concatenation, and here I'm gonna have plugin underscore dir underscore URL parenthesis, and here I'm gonna have underscore file underscore. So this is gonna be the path. This is the path to my plugin, and then this is the folder from my plugin, and then the file. And I want to do the same thing for my JavaScript file, so I'm gonna copy it and just gonna go all the way down here, and I'll paste it like this. Bam, bam, bam. So here I have the no script. If JavaScript is not activated on my browser, it's gonna let me know. I have this div ID root. This is where the React.js app is going to be displayed, and the short code is this one. So everything is pretty much working. We're gonna be back here in a second, but let's just save it for now like this. There shouldn't be any errors on the website right now. If I'm going to the home page, yeah, we don't have any errors or anything like that. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is let me see here, index.php. We've got this. Okay, if I'm going to my plugins, no, WordPress content, I'm going to my themes folder. I have this storefront child theme. That's the theme I was telling you about. So if I'm going to my appearance themes, this is the theme I'm using. I'm using the storefront theme installed, and I have a child theme. This child theme is gonna allow me to override some of the templates from the storefront theme. So whenever there's a new update, the theme doesn't override it. So I'm going to, let me go back. I'm going to storefront. This is the main, this is the parent theme, and I will copy the single.php file. So I'll copy it from here, go back to my themes, and I will paste it in my storefront child. Okay, now let me open this up. Now I'm gonna grab this file and I will drop it here just to edit a little bit. Now this file being here, I would like to get rid of everything. So this is like have post, this is getting the post from the database directly on the template, but here I'm going to output my React.js app. So I will delete everything I have here, and I will paste this shortcode from here. So I will copy it, and here I'm going to, let me just do like this, boom, and here I'm gonna have echo, and I will do underscore shortcode, parentheses, apostrophes, and paste the shortcode like this. Alright, and then I will save it. So if I'm going back to my post now, if I click on this post, I'm gonna get this error, index.php 18 quality undefined function plugin dir URL. So there's plugin dir, okay, URL needs to be URL. I just misspelled it, right? Where is it? Oh, here, dir URL. So let's make sure we fix it everywhere here. Let's save it, go and refresh the page. So we're getting the post, right? We're getting the data from the API, everything works fine here. Now where we have this stuff here, you know, we need to leave some space, but once you have the stuff on your page, you can play around. So in single.php, you can actually use this shortcode anywhere you want, but you want to do it like the way I built it here, you want to use it just in this file. So we can put here echo, just do like this, 1 or 2, and we save it, we go back. So if I refresh it, it's gonna leave some space here just for the shadow to be visible. Okay, this is fine here, but we have just one problem. Now we go to the home page, and if I open this file, this other post, it's still gonna show me the data from the post with the ID 10. So I want to make this ID, I want to make this app dynamically. This is it's very quick to do, it's fast. So let's go back to our single, okay, we can close this. Let's go to index.php, and where we have our global post here. Now in our script tag, let's add a new variable. So we will have here a var, and the variable is going to be post ID, like this, and we will assign the post ID from our global post variable. So we will have apostrophes, concatenation, we have post ID, like this. Okay, now we have this post ID here. I can copy it, and I'm gonna open my plugins folder. So I'm going to WordPress content, plugins, WordPress PDF, static, open this one, JS folder, and there's gonna be a main. You may have a different hashtag here, but this is main.hashtag.chunk. Oops, I shouldn't open with this one, but like if I do open, or if I just grab it and paste it here like this. Now I'll do Control F just to search for certain things in this file. So I'll put HTTP. This is gonna find me the API URL. So now here I have this JavaScript ID, which is a variable, it's JavaScript variable, and where I have my post ID, I want to delete it and just to concatenate it in JavaScript. So I'll add this plus plus, and in between the pluses I will paste the post ID. So in this way the post ID is going to be dynamic. Now I will save it, and I'll go back here. So we see, okay, the post T. So if I refresh the page, everything works fine. We're grabbing the data from the post T. If I'm going to the home page and I click on the hello world, we will get the data from the hello world post with the image and everything. So remember, this image is just the featured image. If you want to add more images, you'll have to play around with the just to filter it, and then whenever there's an img tag, or img tag, you want to replace it with that img image component. Okay, guys, that's it for this video. I hope this was interesting to you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for my channel, share this video with your friends, and if you have any wishes, or if there's anything that you would like me to make a tutorial about, please let me know in the comments as well. Thank you very much for your attention, and I will see you in the next video.